Stan Mayo on the approach. And right in the pocket. But look at the lead.
Well, maybe you can carry the ball off that piece of wood into the 10-pin. Wood certainly should take the 5 and the 8. Well, up and over it, or just behind it.
Stan Mayo with the stand-up style as he approaches the foul line.
Again, right in the pocket.
Move. This time leaves just the 5-pin, and there's a nice turn of the wood.
Yes, you and I would have a shot at this one, Doug.
I'd be nervous, though. That's Stan's second mark of the match. Marked in his first box up there, but that's his first one since then. 7th for the team. And they lead. Larry Valcourt. Nice looking pocket hit, and the 9-pin doesn't fall quite in the right direction to take the 5.
Shoot at a 5-pin with even a flatter piece of wood, covering more of the lane across.
See, I did something that I never do that time. I had that one already down on my score sheet before he hit it.
I'm going to tell these bowlers.
I get real nervous when I do that. Because I know I shouldn't do that.
You do crossword puzzles in ink, too, right? Just missing the head pin to the right. And gets a 6-pin drop. The 1, 7, 9, and 10 pins left.
Cuts the lead down to 2, but they're opposite a mark here in the 6th. This would be a pretty good looking shot if it goes. Let's see. No. He's going to try and make that front piece of wood jump over. Almost. So the mark in the 6th that Stan Mayo left there for Mike Sargent will...
Now to a friend and fellow law professor of Sam Dash's, Paul Rothstein.
3 plus the fill of 6.
Split the 2 and the 4 if you can.
Yeah, oh,
he does.
Oh, did it pretty well. How did he miss the 6-pin? Mike from Bradford, Mass. His wife Marianne have 3 children, Mike Jr., Chris, and Kimberly. Mike works for Ogden Martin, does a lot of his bowling at the Pilgrim Lanes in Haverhill. And let's see if we can figure out exactly what happened on that shot.
One right behind the 6.
And again, when it came back off the wall. Right back in the pocket again, and the 6-pin is still there.
Right in the face, right in the face.
Right on it. Single pin pickup for Mike Sargent. 8th mark for the team. Team of Brodeur and Valcourt have 7, and they trail by 9 in the match. Dan pulled that one a little bit. The 1, 3, 4, 7, 10.
Trying to split them. Ooh, everything but the 7.
And the lead remains at 9, but now he's opposite a mark in the 8th. Presenting sponsor of Candlepin Stars and Strikes and Stars and Strikes doubles, Tri-State Megabucks. Been great supporters of bowling here on the Winds for the last several years, and I want to acknowledge their great support as Dan Brodeur puts up the spare in the 8th. Of course, the marquee event of the year, except this year it's 2 marquee events for Tri-State Megabucks starting 3 weeks from today, April 19th. the Tournament of Champions. Added prize money, singles and doubles. And you'll see some bowlers in both tournaments. I believe Mike Morgan is in both. Missed by Stan Mayo, tough. Actually, right now, Mike Morgan is the only bowler who's qualified for both. A couple of other guys have had chances to be in both.
I was surprised when you said that. I said, oh, there must be a few. I couldn't remember them, but we've had so many close calls with bowlers making both shows. I'm surprised there's only one.
Well, it's indicative of the competition, really. It's just very difficult to get to that point.
Just the 8-pin left for Stan. Piece of wood out in front, a couple pieces of wood out in front. Make it 3 out in front.
There it is. 3 is enough.
Oh, I thought that was 8. 8 was enough. $117.
Pulled it a bit.
121.
And a 2-string total, 251.
First chore for Larry is to at least match the 7-pin drop that Sargent and Mayo have already posted in the 8th. And then try to put a couple more marks up, possibly take the lead.
Good-looking ball, and he needs a break on the 6-pin, and he won't get it.
6 and the 7 are still rocking. Now, there is a piece of wood behind the 6. Now, whether he can just clip the 6-pin on the right-hand side and use that wood, I don't know. Let's see. I'm sure that's what he's going to try.
Oh, wow.
Moved the wood in front of the 7-pin.
Looked like he hit it exactly where he had to hit it. $9. So the lead is still 9, and let's take a look at that spare chance.
There you go, right here, left.
Couldn't hit it much better. Oh, he's got to contend with a spare 4. The lead is, Doug said, 9 pins, and you have to come up with 14 to keep it at 9.
Actually, if that wood is not in front of the 7-pin on that last shot, and here's the same lead with different wood, if that piece of wood is not in front of the 7-pin on that last shot, he probably makes it.
You're right. You're right. Now, this one, I would say, he's have to get the 6-pin clean to get the wood to roll over and get the 7-pin. Now he's too high. So it's going to be close, but Sargent Mayo will maintain the lead.
Boy, tight match, the 6-7 leave twice in a row. And he gave it a run both times, but instead it's just 19 pins. So a 6-pin edge from this second game for Sargent and Mayo added their previous lead. 251 to 238, a 13-pin advantage for Sargent and Mayo with 1 game to go to see who gets into the semifinals. And we'll be back in a minute.
And then there was one game remaining, 13-pin deficit facing team of Dan Brodeur and Larry Valcourt. Trying to move 1 step closer to that Tournament of Champions.
Dan just not seeming to get the carry this week that he was getting a week ago.
That ball's a little lighter in the pocket. Usually that does well here at Park Place Lanes. Gets the pins moving.
Well, Dan's got a piece of wood coming out toward him, so Joe Paglia will go down to check it out. Dan's got to, meanwhile, take all this time thinking about the 3-7-10, and he's going at it for just a 10 box. So, not the way he would have preferred to start this game. And he takes an 8 box. Last week after 2, Brodeur and Valcourt had 274. This week, 238.
Oh, pin slid right in behind the 10-pin. But that's what he's looking at. 10-pin all by itself. He's right on it. Spare in a second.
Mark number 9. for the team. And Dan, you were pointing out on the score sheet something that's worth noting about that second game for Brodeur and Valcourt.
Yeah, we're looking at, well, big strike by Mike Sargent. He just seems to trip that 5-pin out. 9-pin goes out, 9 of the pins go out in a hurry, and something comes and nudges the 5-pin. Yeah, we were mentioning at the 115 for Valcourt and Brodeur. Had 4 marks in that 115. And of course, then you go right to the fills, and they had a 2-fill, but more important, they had a 5-box to start the game off with. So that kind of negates one of the other marks. Usually, give 4 marks, you're 120 plus if you fill them halfway decent.
That's the second time in the match that Mike Sargent has thrown a strike and then thrown a spread eagle on top of it.